welcome back to another episode of Handbook to Success, helping you achieve your dreams faster. A couple weeks ago, which this video will be linked down below, we posted a video about where I was talking kind of about creativity and how it's really starting to dwindle throughout the world, but especially in the school systems. Something we notice a lot nowadays, both going to school. We notice that creativity is really kind of the last thing when it comes to the checklist of things. Right, it's devalued, and where it's one of the most important things that any person could have. So John's going to share some of his thoughts because I did that in a previous video, and we're going to kind of talk about this a little bit because it's something very important to both of us. So,
for me, honestly, school, I'm not a strong school person. I get average grades. I've never been big on schoolwork because, like we talked about before, my education starts when I get home. And see, the issue with school, and I've always found this, is since I'm not a stellar student, it has always come down to numbers. School tears people down to numbers.
Right.
It doesn't matter if you're good at, finance or money, or if you're good at painting or any of that stuff. It matters if you understand geometry. School breaks you down into numbers. And I feel like the more it does break you down into those numbers, the less of a person you really become to the world. Because if all anybody sees is, my GPA was this and the grades got that, they know nothing about you. And they're not going to want to know anything about you. That's another reason why we started this channel. Because, we get broken down into numbers every single day in school. And, there comes a point in time where enough's enough. We're going to be who we are. We're going to share our thoughts and, our motivations and our creativity with other people. And, John's going to take this away in a sec, but personally, I really think that whether it be art, music, whatever, schools really need to bring back that individuality. Hey, everyone's different. People aren't straight A students. And people, the schools and everybody else needs to understand that people are people. People aren't numbers.
Exactly. And I'm going to be repeating myself a little bit from the last video, but it's still important, and I want to keep bringing this message out there, so it's all right. School focuses on one thing, and that's sending us away to university.
Yeah.
Okay? Well, I'm going to tell you something right now. In the way we see it, in 20 years, degrees are going to be obsolete because everybody's going to have a degree. What originally took a bachelor's is going to require a master's, which required a master's is going to take a PhD. And this is not just our thought. This is all backed up by Sir Ken Robinson, who is a professional educator, evaluator. Okay?
TEDx talk was great.
Mm-hmm. And that will also be linked down below.
Yeah.
So this is all backed up by someone who's done this as a living.
Yeah.
Degrees aren't going to matter. So the one thing that school is actually trying to get us to do is going to be obsolete in the next couple of years. And like I've said before, and I'll say it again, and I'm going to stick by it. Creativity is the #1 depleting resource on the entire planet, and it's the most important resource on the entire planet. You run out of fossil fuels, we can find more ways to make the world turn if we have creativity.
Yeah.
We run out of brain power, well then we're done.
Well, we're dead. Exactly.
So what I really want to stress is bringing your creativity back. Doing something that requires you to grow your mind and be creative.
Mm-hmm.
If you're into music, that's awesome. If you're into art, that's cool too. But just do whatever it is you got to do, even if it's reading a fiction book. We don't do a lot of that anymore, but we need to do more of it because what you do when you're reading a fiction book, you're reading words on a page, but it forces your mind to create some sort of scenario and imagine exactly what you're reading. So we all need to really focus, and what we're really going to focus on is growing our creativity and continue to bring it out and show it to the world and trying to get other people to embrace their creativity because it's honestly one of the most important things that we can, as humans, can really achieve for and strive for.
Honestly, you got to think more like this though too. If it wasn't for creativity, Walt Disney wouldn't have created Disney.
Right.
John D. Rockefeller, he wouldn't have started his company. I forget what it's called. But then also like all the other companies in the world, like Apple, or Samsung, Microsoft, all this Facebook. None of that stuff would have been around if it wasn't for creativity. If it wasn't for an original thought of creativeness and imagination.
Exactly. And I mentioned something in the last video. I said we're on an innovative plateau right now as a race. And I want to kind of explain that a little more and go into that a little deeper here. And basically what I meant was, people like Elon Musk and the highest successful people, SpaceX, Tesla, there's a lot of innovation, a lot of things growing up there on the high echelons of, we'll call it like society, I guess you can call it, right? So there's a lot of things that are going on, but us as the public don't necessarily get to use the next, SpaceX aircraft, or get to know what all goes into Tesla's newest, car. Exactly.
Yeah.
So what I want to really challenge everybody to do, and what we will continue to do, is continue to grow the creativity here at our level. Create things that other people can use, that bring value to everybody's life, because that's the most important thing you can do with whatever it is you're doing, is bring value to somebody. And the more creative you are, the more potential value you can bring out to the world.
Yeah, no, seriously, you could. The more creative, like you said, the more creative you are, and the more you can imagine things, the more you will create, and the more value you'll add to the human race as a whole, into the world. Because honestly, things are not so great right now for people all over the world. But your creativity and your imagination that could change things. It could change maybe a couple people, a community. But think bigger though. You have no idea what you could be capable of. If it's again, it all started with an original thought and an imagination. That's what created everything. The stock market, Facebook, the internet. It was that imagination and that creativity that everything we have around us. That's how it started.
It is perhaps one of the most important topics that anyone can discuss on a modern day scale.
Yeah.
And it's something I'm super passionate about. Is I want to see the more embrace of creativity and more growing of creativity. And it's not just in the schools, because I mentioned in the last video, we're taking creativity out of the arts in schools. Everything is more restrictive.
Yeah.
It's something that only we can do as a society, and it's not something we can rely on the school system to necessarily fix. It's something we all have to come together and do. So having said that, what I want you to do, if you're so willing, and you find this to be a valuable topic to spread, please tag a friend, but also, we're going to start the hashtag #BeCreative.
Yeah.
Tag us in a picture on Instagram. Use the hashtag on Twitter, Facebook, wherever it is. Hashtag #BeCreative. Spread the message. Help us spread our word. Become part of this great movement to recreate America in a way. We can see in the next 30 years, everything can be different because of what you do and what you inspire other people to do. So hashtag #BeCreative. Spread it around, and we'll catch you next time.